What is up, book nerds? My name is Hillary and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing my November TBR for this month, and I'm so excited to see what books I get and see if I can put some of the books that I want to do on the readathon in with my TBR game, and also maybe put in the book that I'm reading with my mom and my sister-in-law for our book club into one of them, but we'll see. Last month, I did not get all my books read. I was so busy. My brother got married and I wasn't even home for a couple days and just going through some stuff with myself and all that, but I will be adding an extra pick on to this month's TBR game. And as you know, I usually do 5 picks, so with adding one more, I have 6. So let's get right on into this video and see what books I need to read for November. Alright, so pick number 1. I'm gonna mix this up a little bit. Alright. Is a one-word titled book. So I need to see what I have that is one-word title and go from there. And if I don't find one, then I'll have to add another pick onto this TBR. So for the prompt one-word title, I chose the book Evermore by Alison Noel, or Noel, however which way you say that. It is part of the Immortals series. It's not very long, so I figured this would be a nice one to read. It says, after a horrible accident claims the lives of her family, 16-year-old Ever Bloom can see people's auras, hear their thoughts, and know someone's entire life story by touching them. Going out of her way to avoid human contact and suppress her abilities, she has been branded a freak at her new high school, but everything changes when she meets Damon August. Damon is gorgeous, exotic, and wealthy. He's the only one who can silence the noise and random energy in her head, wielding a magic so intense it's as though he can peer straight into her soul. As Ever is drawn deeper into his enticing world of secrets and mystery, she's left with more questions than answers, and she has no idea just who he really is or what he is. The only thing she knows to be true is that she's falling deeply and hopelessly in love with him. This sounds really good, like a YA fantasy with some romance in it, and I'm so into that right now. I am into like just reading romance, and then if you add the fantasy aspect, I love it even more. So yeah, this is the first pick, and let's just keep this energy going. Pick number 2. Get to the bottom of the cup so I can get some good picks, just in case I didn't get stirred good enough. And so we got a Nicholas Sparks book. I'm gonna look and see what I want to read from the ones that I have on my shelf and go from there. So for pick number 2, I have all of Nicholas Sparks' books so far, besides maybe a couple of his newest ones. And the book that I've picked that I have not read by him yet is At First Sight, and obviously it's by Nicholas Sparks. But this says on the back, there are a few things Jeremy Marsh was sure he'd never do. He'd never leave New York City, never give his heart away after barely surviving one failed marriage, and never become a parent. Now Jeremy is living in the tiny town of Boone Creek, North Carolina, engaged to Lexi Darnell, the love of his life, and anticipating the start of their family. But just as everything seems to be settling into a blissful pattern, a mysterious email sets off a chain of events that will test the strength of their commitment, capturing all the heartbreak, tension, and romance of the newlywed. At First Sight explores the love between a man and a woman, and between a parent and a child, and reveals an extraordinary truth that the emotion that can break your heart is sometimes the very one that heals it. This one sounds so good. Like I said, I've never read this one by him, and I'm excited to see what I think of this, because I do love Nicholas Sparks' books. It's just been a while since I've read one of his books that he has. Alright, pick number 3. Let me get those picked up. And we got A memoir, biography, or true story. Let me see what I got or see what I want to read. If not, I'll just add another pick for this month. Alright, so I decided I'll just add another pick because I could not decide a memoir or biography or true story that I really want to read at this time. So let's just go back and do pick number 3 again. And we got a young adult book. Great, I have so many of those. Let's see which one I pick for this prompt. Alright, so for a young adult book, I chose a reread because the newer one just came out a couple weeks ago, and I really want to refresh my memory on this book, and that is Once Upon a Broken Heart by Stephanie Garber. This is a book that talks about this girl named Evangeline, and she makes a deal with the Prince of Hearts, or the Jack of Hearts, who is from the Caraval series, and I absolutely love his character. I am excited to get to the second book in this series, trilogy. I'm not sure if it's going to be a trilogy or a series, but I'm excited just to dive back into this world because I loved this book the first time I read it, and can't wait to see what I think of it the second time I read it. Alright, pick number 4. Is a newly published book, which is awesome because I just went book shopping and got some newer releases. It's just deciding which one I want to read. So I think I'm going to go with The Ballad of Never After, which is the second book to the Once Upon a Broken Heart trilogy by Stephanie Garber. I don't really want to read much about it because I want to go in blind and not really know much because sometimes the synopsis can give things away and I don't want that. But yeah, I'm so excited to read this and get to it and to see what I think and just to get back to reading about Jax and Evangeline together. Alright, pick number 5 is Been on Shelf a While. So it's more like a TBR veteran, a book that I've had for a long time and haven't read yet. Let me see what I choose and I'll get right back to you. For a book that's been on my shelves for a while, I chose Blue Moon, which is the second book in the Immortal series, and since I'm going to read the first one this month, I might as well read the second one. But I don't really want to read the back of it because I haven't read the first one yet, so I don't want to be spoiled just in case. But yeah, so I'm going to be reading this one also. I'm going to be reading quite a bit of continuations or series this month, which I'm excited because I need to get some of these books read. Alright, so my punishment prompt here is pick 6. And we got Out of Comfort Zone. Alright, let's see what I find and want to read and go from there because I'm not too sure about this, but hopefully we find something. So for Out of My Comfort Zone, I chose If You Believe by Kristen Hanna. I've never read a Kristen Hanna book before because she usually writes historical fiction, which that's kind of what this one is, but with romance. This one sounds really good and it seems kind of short. This is a shorter book of it, and this one is 370 pages, so that's not bad. But it says, Mariah Throckmorton was hiding from a past filled with scandal. Mad Dog Stone was a drifter looking for a few days' work. He walked into her life and threatened Mariah's peace of mind. Stirring emotions she tried to hide. Their love was born against all odds. Difficult to count on, impossible to hold. Together they would learn the bittersweet truth that love exists only if you believe. This sounds really good, and I'm hoping I love it because, like I said, this would be my first Kristen Hanna book. And my final pick is I'll get those ones picked up in a second. But my 7th pick is, oh great, a historical fiction. I am not picking a historical fiction, so I'll just add another pick to this month. I just want to do baby steps with historical fiction. Alright, pick number 7. A book with mixed reviews. Let me see what I got and go from there, because I know I have some that have quite a bit of mixed reviews, and so yeah, I'll let you know what I pick. Alright, so for a book with mixed reviews, I picked Siren Queen by Nihing Vo. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. But I looked on Goodreads, and it has quite a bit of mixed reviews. It has a general rating of 3.73 with 4,958 ratings and 1,507 reviews on it. And it has 24% 5 stars, 36% 4 stars, 27% 3 stars, 9% 2 stars, 1% 1 star. So I think that's this is a really good book for choosing for mixed reviews. But I have been trying to slowly get through books that I've gotten from Book of the Month this year, and it'll be my same goal for next year. But this one says, no maids, no funny talking, no fainting flowers. Luli Wei is a beautiful, talented, and desperate to be a star. Coming of age in pre-code Hollywood, she knows how dangerous the movie business is and how limited roles are for a Chinese American girl from Hungarian Hill, but she doesn't care. She'd rather play a monster than a maid. But in Luli's world, the worst monsters in Hollywood are not the ones on screen. The studios want to own everything from her face to her name to the woman she loves, and they run on a system of bargains made in blood and ancient magic. Powered by the endless sacrifice of unlucky starlets like her, for those who do survive to earn their fame, success comes with a steep price. Luli is willing to do whatever it takes, even if that means becoming the monster herself. This sounds really good, and it's shorter. It only has just under 270 something pages in it, so it shouldn't take me that long to read. Maybe I'll vlog my experience because I've never read this author before. If you would think that's a good idea, let me know in the comments down below. And if you've read this, let me know what your rating was on it, because I like knowing what people thought of certain books. Awesome, that's it for my TBR cup game. A couple of other books I'm reading this month. Let me go grab it and I'll be right back. The one book for sure that I'm reading for the book club group, with my mom and my sister-in-law, is Sign Here by Claudia Lux. This one just sounds really funny. I got it from Book of the Month last month, and it sounds like you have to make a deal with something with hell and kind of like the devil himself, and this guy is trying to complete his quota, but it can only be from this certain family. It sounds like it's going to be really funny, and I can't wait to read this. I've never read a book by this author because it is her debut book. So, yeah, I'm excited to read this and see what I think and all these other books that I'm reading. I'm also taking part in Thankful-a-thon, which is all through November. Not 100% sure what I'm going to read for that yet. And I'm also going to be doing the week read-a-thon for Gilmore Girls. I'm so excited for that. I love Gilmore Girls. I'm going to try and vlog for some of these read-a-thons. I don't know if I'll vlog one for every week for Thankful-a-thon, but I'm for sure hoping to vlog for the Gilmore Girl read-a-thon and see what books I get done and that I love. But yeah, that's it for this video. If you have read any of the books that I've talked about on here, let me know in the comments below if you've enjoyed them or not. And don't forget to hit that like if you've enjoyed this video and that subscribe button with that notification bell so you will be the first to know when I am posting. And as always, keep on reading, people. Bye!